Today, I want to talk about the key lessons I've learned after years of investing, and what I would do differently if I were starting from scratch all over again. As someone who began investing with very little knowledge or experience, I've made plenty of mistakes along the way, but those mistakes have also taught me a tremendous amount about building wealth intelligently over time. So, whether you're just getting started on your investment journey or have been at it for a while, I think you'll find these tips helpful. My goal is to share the core principles and strategies that I wish I knew from the beginning, so you can avoid some of the pitfalls I encountered. Without further ado, let's dive right in. 1. Adjust your risk tolerance. One of the first things I would do differently is properly assess my risk tolerance before diving into any investments. When you're young and new to investing, it's tempting to want to swing for the fences and take on a lot of risk in search of big returns. But the reality is, if you take on too much risk without fully understanding it, you could get burned badly. What I've learned is that when you're in your 20s, you likely have more time than money. So, it's okay to take on some smart risks in pursuit of growth while you have decades ahead of you to ride out any short-term volatility. But you still need to be honest with yourself about how much risk aligns with your personality and emotional capacity. Taking calculated risks is good. Taking reckless risks is not. Don't invest in anything you don't thoroughly comprehend, as your life circumstances and financial goals evolve. Your risk tolerance should be reevaluated periodically, but the key is starting with a balanced asset allocation of stocks and bonds that allow you to still swing the odds in your favor over decades without keeping you up at night. 2. Taking calculated risks and automated investing are key. This leads me to my second point. Taking calculated risks and setting up automated investments are key to growing your wealth consistently over time. After seeing the power of compound growth firsthand, I'm a strong believer in taking advantage of time and consistency. In your 20s and 30s, making just small regular contributions to investment accounts can pay enormous dividends down the road. Thanks to compounding returns, the earlier you start investing, the more runway you have for money to grow. But the key is consistency. Automated investing tools make this simple by taking the legwork out of manually contributing to your accounts. Once it's set up, your funds are regularly invested, so you can put it on autopilot. This prevents you from procrastinating or delaying investments due to inertia or nervousness about market dips. Sticking to the plan is crucial. Calculated risks also mean not being overly conservative out of fear. Have the courage to invest enough in stocks to see meaningful growth. The key is balancing prudent risks with consistency over decades. 3. Invest in broad market ETFs. If I were starting from scratch all over again, I would keep my investing approach simple by focusing on broad market ETFs, rather than picking individual stocks. Attempting to analyze stocks and time the market is time-consuming, stressful, and statistically unlikely to outperform the overall market over the long run. Most professional active traders fail to match the returns of simple index funds over decades. It's nearly impossible for individuals to succeed at it consistently. Instead, I would invest in low-cost ETFs that provide instant diversification and exposure to entire market sectors or indexes. This requires almost no maintenance once set up. The process is straightforward. Decide the fund type depending on your goals, determine the amount of money you aim to invest from each paycheck, and select one or more ETFs that match your desired asset allocation. Popular providers like Vanguard and Fidelity make this simple. You can set up automatic contributions from your checking account. Choose a broad-based index fund like S&P 500 Index Fund or custom ETF mix, and let your money go to work over time. Removing the temptation to pick stocks lets you focus on the big picture and set it and forget it. Broad index funds help remove emotions from the equation so you stay the course. 4. Avoid risky investments. Without full understanding. One of the biggest lessons I've learned is to avoid putting money into anything I don't fully understand. When you're new to investing, it's tempting to chase headlines and put money into assets simply because they're rising quickly. But if you don't understand how an investment actually works, and the risks involved, it's essentially just gambling and speculation. That's a recipe for getting burned. For things like cryptocurrencies, brand new assets, and complex derivatives, if you can't explain exactly how they work and what's driving price movements, avoid them until you do. Blindly following the crowd into investments you don't grasp is reckless and leaves you prone to bubbles and manias. Do your homework first. Stick to assets with established track records, transparent price drivers, and real underlying value. As Warren Buffett says, risk comes from not knowing what you are doing. 5. Utilize tax-advantaged retirement accounts. Another big mistake I made early on was not taking full advantage of tax-deferred or tax-free retirement accounts. I left money on the table that could have been growing tax-free for decades. Making pre-tax contributions lowers your taxable income now, while allowing growth and compounding to happen tax-free over time. This results in significantly higher net returns long-term compared to taxable accounts. Maxing out contributory limits each year accelerates your wealth building substantially compared to just using standard investment accounts. So, I would prioritize filling up tax-advantaged accounts before anything else. Don't leave this free money on the table. 6. Avoid debt that drags you down. One of the biggest drags on wealth building I see today is high-interest debt like credit cards, payday loans, and auto loans. But carrying debt with double-digit interest keeps you stuck on a debt treadmill, making it impossible to invest and build wealth. It blocks your cash flow like a boat anchor. Finding ways to boost income is far better than taking on loans or debt. Even a side hustle for extra cash flow prevents you from needing to borrow at such punitive rates. Don't let bad debt ruin your finances. 7. Learn a high-income skill. That brings me to my next point. Learning a high-income skill gives you leverage to boost earnings and wealth rapidly while you're young. When I was starting out as a fresh graduate during the dot-com bubble bust period, I floated between low-paying jobs that provided little room to save or invest. I wasn't strategic about picking up valuable skills. In hindsight, taking the time and effort to learn skills like e-commerce, investing, or digital marketing would have been game changers early on. They provide incredible income potential. Having a high income while you're young is like a rocket booster to reaching financial independence faster. If I could restart, I would get more strategic about acquiring rare, lucrative skills. Don't just do jobs for money. Learn skills that leverage your earnings potential. The ROI will be immense. 8. Start a simple side hustle. However, you don't have to reinvent yourself to benefit from having side income in addition to your regular job. While I started hustling in my late 20s, I wished I had started my hustles earlier. Early on, I would have been better served exploring side hustle ideas like selling products online, doing freelance writing, web design, or affiliate marketing during my free time. Even an extra few $100s a month acts as a boost when you're starting out. It can provide funds to invest as well as prevent you from having to use debt. Almost anyone can start a simple side hustle with just a little research. Leverage your skills or pick something straightforward to start. Don't leave extra income opportunities on the table. 9. Turn your passion into profits. For your side hustle, make sure to explore opportunities related to your interests or hobbies. Combining passion with profits is a great way to build additional income. For example, if you love fitness, consider coaching or training people virtually for extra cash. Or, if you enjoy baking, sell specialty baked goods locally. If you have photography skills, sell your photos online or market yourself for events. Turn what you love doing into a moneymaker. Not only does this provide additional income, but it feels far less like work when it involves something you enjoy and are naturally skilled at. 10. Invest in quality and value over the long term. While I am a believer in quality over price, I have seen people who buy cheap things often that don't last. Cheap turns out to be expensive when you consider cost per use. Many discounted products were flimsily made and broke quickly. This required repeated purchases and wasted money. Doing your research and identifying products that deliver enduring value and quality is better over the long haul. Investing a bit more upfront to buy something built to last saves you cash flow for investing. Think long-term value over everything. Be wary of cutting corners or buying the flimsy option just to save a few bucks today. It often backfires. Don't be penny wise and pound foolish. I hope walking through these core lessons I learned the hard way helps give you a blueprint for ramping up your investing success. Use my mistakes as your lessons so you can accelerate your financial freedom. If I had to start over from scratch all again today, this is the approach I would implement right out of the gate. What about you? What are some key investing lessons you've learned? Comment below. If you enjoyed this video, do like and share this video so that more people will learn about how to invest from scratch. Check out this playlist of my top 10 videos for creating wealth, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.